Hello, everybody. I hope that you are doing very well and welcome to today's live stream. I was just about to say Champions live stream. It's not, it's just a here one for the public. And I know you're all really excited for this one because, well, we've obviously just seen a massive move on Bitcoin. I've obviously been talking about this live stream that I'm going to give you now for a few days. Obviously posted first about this back on the 2nd, 2 days ago now. Obviously the title here, the bottom for Bitcoin is in. This is why. Obviously leaning towards that move to the upside. And here we are 2 days later, ladies and gentlemen, with a move to the upside. So I'm going to be explaining why in this video. I already know the hype and excitement that you have for it. So I know the level that I need to be going on in this video in terms of like the performance that you're expecting and accustomed to, right? So of course we're going to be going through everything that you need to know right now. Okay, of course I've been showing you. You probably saw one of the funny videos that I made over on Twitter. By the way, if you're not following over on Twitter, you probably should. It's absolutely free to do so, giving some pretty epic content over there. But yeah, obviously talking about the market maker model theory that I'm going to be talking about today, and how we foresaw this move to the upside coming and actually calling it in advance with a proper trading setup. I'll be explaining that, of course. I'd like to really cast my mind back first of all. So this is how this live stream is going to run. You watching this video, you need to pay full attention, okay? This is a very important one. You need to pay full attention, okay? If you're in a zone with a lot of distractions, put on the noise cancellation if you have it. You just focus fully on what I'm saying, what I'm explaining. I know you want to be the level of trading that I'm at right now, and the only way you can do that is by really putting in the effort. Okay, so the least you can do is block out all the distractions and give your full focus to this video. And I can absolutely say by the end of this, you are going to be absolutely thoroughly happy with a very big smile on your face that you've done so, because you are going to be learning from this video. You're going to be understanding what I'm looking at in the moment and what I'm looking at next, really over the next 1 to 2 weeks. So this is extremely crucial information that you just are simply not going to get anywhere else. You're here for the best. I'm going to give you the best. And with that said, let's get into the content. So, as I said, actually, no, I want to just really quickly explain the 3 steps that we're going to be going through. So step number 1, I'm going to be explaining this section of price action to the left here. Really the move up, that subsequent move down, and then this move up. I'm going to be explaining educationally why we put in the highs, lows, and highs where we have currently. And then I'll be giving a quick announcement, and then we'll be moving on to the last section where we'll be looking at what's to come next. And I'll of course be explaining the current trading positions that I'm in and how this is going to be going really over the next few weeks. So education, explaining the highs and lows, quick announcement, then explaining what I'm looking for next to come. So let's get straight into this, shall we? I'm going to just give a quick hello, CC Paul. Hello, Dan, the man, the myth, the legend. Hope that you are all very well. Thank you ever so much. Sound is good. We're going to have people all over the world in this one. CC Paul said their regards. We love you, boss. I love you too. Thank you for all the support. Yeah, I know you're all extremely happy with this move to the upside, because that was a pretty epic call, if I say so myself. Yeah, we're going to go straight into it then. All the sound is brilliant. So yeah, happy to see you all here this evening or this morning or the afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. And yeah, let's just jump straight into the content together. So as I said, I want to first start off by explaining this move up. And this was only 2 days ago, but it seems like a very long time ago now, doesn't it? And it was basically this move that we saw up before the drop. Okay, so the last video that I made was around on the 1st of November. And I basically had a few key levels on my chart, right? The first key level that I had to the upside was at 19,700 point of control. Remember, I was heavily shorting. In the end, I got this into over 50 million on that trade, which was obviously a short. And my invalidation was reclaiming the point of control. And what actually happened was we came on the next day to fully test that point of control with the rejection. It was quite brilliant. It really was. Okay. And I'm going to just show you some of the posts, explaining how I come to these levels. So this is the educational part. Okay. Obviously, all of these posts are from before the move happened. Of course, now we're reviewing my post that I made a few days after it's happened. But these posts were all in the time before it's happened. Okay, you can see while we're trading around 20,400, posting inside of my Discord. So these are all posts within inside my Discord group. This was the merge range profile where we can see that point of control still at 20,750. Okay, obviously my bias is very much bearish at this point still. Right, happily shorting every rise. Okay, so I've made a swing trading plan, which is a short position, and the invalidation, as I said in my last public YouTube live stream for free. Short position and the invalidation is reclaiming the point of control. Okay, so step number 1, make the swing trading plan, which is building a short. Step number 2, understand where my stop loss invalidation will be, and that's a reclaim of that level. Okay, step number 3, happily compound my short on every rise. Step number 4, obviously we come up, took a little bit of time, but that point of control remained the same. At that time, still on the 31st, that was a $26 million position, managed to get that over to $50 million. And yeah, there we go. That was the rejection at 20,750. Okay, that was the profit, the perfect swing short, really. Okay, so hope you can understand that. That was why we put in the high where we did a few days ago. That was the merged profile point of control. This is obviously from a TPO chart. That was still the level at 20,750 the next day. We come up and we test that level absolutely perfectly for the rejection. And we got that subsequent large move to the downside. Okay, so why did we put in this high where we did on the 2nd of November? Ladies and gentlemen, it was very, very, very simply because that's where the large point of control was. It was as simple as that. Okay. So I'm like saying to my team, we've obviously now hit that level. We were ready and waiting and aware of that level. We've hit that level with rejection. And of course, when you're understanding why the levels are put in, then, trading can be relatively easy, right? We come up, we hit that level, we get the rejection. And now this was my next bit of thought process. And that was that we started to come down here, right? We started to come down here. And what I said to my team, again, live in the action as it's happening. This is all in the action. New lows to be made to stop out the early longs, in my opinion. Again, this is extremely amazing insights. Okay, pay attention to this. So I've recognized we've actually currently put in the low here, which was off of my NPOC. We've put in a low here, but I'm not going to long this yet. I even done a live trading stream, which I'm going to talk about, but we've done a live trading stream during this massive move to the downside, right? So as the big move was happening, we done the live trading stream where I came in, I told my team, I'm not going to long this yet. I'm expecting another new low to be put in. And that was based off of this information that I shared in my Discord. And that was because there was a lot of new longs opening on the back test of the daily. I'm expecting this low to be taken out. E.g., or i.e., as some people like to correct me now saying, is I'm not going to long yet because these are new longs that are going to be stopped out, in my opinion. There's no way they're getting off with the DXY not yet taking its high and the ES not quite taking its low. These early longs will get stopped out and we will make a new low. I was very confident in my words. And what happened? Well, we took a look about half an hour later. That low did get taken out. We did take out those lows and the stops were triggered, okay, on the early longs. And from there, we start to get the long setup, okay? So we start to formulate a long setup down here. And I'm going to explain something. Well, this is going to be a little bit of a journey. You're going to have to pay attention for the next 10 minutes, okay? This all stems from within what I'm going to be referring to over the next 10 minutes as the market maker theory. Okay, so some of you may or may not know, obviously I have a very large size and I'm trading with quite a bit of capital, let's say. And I have the position of a market maker, right? So and just an FYI, anybody can reach this level when they're trading with the amount of capital. There's no like presets. All you need to do is have the money and you can become a market maker. Okay, it's as simple as that. And some people don't like this, some people like it, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I have the capital for this, but I also have the mind for this, right? And this is where I think a lot of people don't have this edge in trading, and I totally understand it. You have to remember, I've been trading for over 10 years. I know some people like to refer to themselves as pro traders or professionals when they've been trading 1, 2, or 3 years. It's like, come on, you don't get these type of insights without having done this thousands and thousands and thousands of times. So having spent over 10 years in this market playing this game, I'm really aware of what is going to be happening next, or I have very high probabilities. And my thought process was, we are not going to take out this low yet. We are not going to take out this low. the market maker model here will actually be getting another rise to the upside before we take this out. And of course, I'm going to play you the clip and show you what my thought process was in real live time. But yeah, that was my thought process here, that we're not going to take out that low yet. That I saw a lot, well, without even seeing it, I knew for a fact people are going to be waiting for this low. That's the obvious low, right? So what are people going to be doing? Well, we saw a lot of shorts opening down here and people not longing because they want to see the swing failure pattern of the overall low. They want to see the swing failure pattern of the overall low. Okay, but what happened before we could take out that low? Well, the DXY, as I was talking about, went on to take its high. The ES went on to take its low. This then provided this really nice opportunity with Bitcoin not going to be coming down that low. Okay, so e.g., let me just refer, I know I might be going a bit fast for some people. I'm going to try and keep it slow and make sure you understand. First, the initial rise to the upside, hitting the point of control, rejecting, level we're already and waiting for, big shorts. Drop to the downside. On this first initial drop, I knew that this was not the low of the naked point of control because of the amount of early longs that opened. Again, this is just experience, intuition that can tell you that. This was a call that a lot of people would fail on because they don't have that experience. Okay, I just had this feeling, and this is what separates, I think, these feelings that you get in the market are something that you can only get through time. So don't beat yourself up if you don't have that yet. They will come with time. But yeah, I just had this feeling. I've seen this thousands and thousands of times. We're going to be making a new low. We made that new low, okay? And then upon making that new low, we also saw a few key things, okay? Primarily, okay, the ES made a new low and the DXY made a new high, okay? And basically then that gave me the entry with the stop loss invalidation below this low, okay? So these were my posts with inside my Discord. Okay, DXY has taken the high. DXY took the high. I like the rhyme so long Bitcoin. Obviously, I had thoroughly explained this reasonings prior to this in the Contenders live trading stream. But I basically was very adamant on the fact I really would like to see DXY push up slightly higher and take out its highs. And I also wanted to see the ES drop a little bit more to take out its low. The ES dropped a little bit more and it took out its low. And DXY moved a little bit more higher to take out the high. So for myself, there was no fear. There was no second guessing. No, I had the plan, I had the entry, I had the invalidation with the stop loss, and I now had my targets. So I'm all ready and I'm set, and I longed Bitcoin. Okay, there was my invalidation and the stop loss, 19,968. Exact photo posted inside my group, by the way. Exact photo. So they all knew. You can also see when you have rivalry, shout out to rivalry, by the way. This guy's doing a lot of hard work inside of the Discord. This guy is an absolute legend. But you see rivalry, you see Tiago, and you see myself all going for those longs, wreck the shorts, enter the longs. I have no fear taking the longs. You get rivalry taking the longs. You start getting the big players taking their long positions down at these lows, right? And this is what it looked like. You formed that little rise to 19,400 back test, come back down for one more swing failure pattern. This was yesterday. So we swing failure pattern the overall low, that overall low invalidation had not been taken out. And for me, it was still the case, another higher low. I'm staying in the long trade with the same invalidation. Why? Because we had still not taken out that low. So e.g. the invalidation of the stop loss is not hit. I'm comfortable to stay in this trade. I'm going to stay in my long trades. And yesterday, of course, we had that CCV target of 20,700, by the way. But for me, this was really, really, really key. We had made one more new low, but not taken out the overall low. The plan still absolutely intact. And we move on to what was happening next. And this is now where it's getting really into that market maker theory, right? Okay. So for me, yeah, this is a few things that you can be aware of what's going on. So we see these posts. This is obviously the setup that I gave to the contenders. And we then start to see this rise to the upside this morning, right? So a few things that we can be aware of. And now I just want to primarily focus on that, the market maker theory. So I'm going to play this quick clip from within this contenders live stream, just so you can thoroughly appreciate what has been talked about here. And really just explaining this very much in depth. I think the biggest setup play, if you think like a market maker, then the biggest setup play would be to not take out this overall low yet.
like get another pump, leave out these lows, like form 2 or 3 like lows down at around 20k, get a move to the upside, and then get like this ultimate really quick crash. That would be like the bigger market maker play. So that's what I'd prefer to see, really. Yeah, that to be honest is what I'd prefer to see. So we'll see if we get what I want or if.
Right, so there you go. The bigger market maker players make another few lows down at this low without taking out the overall low. So you can kind of see the thought process that I was drawing out here. You know, we'll come down, we'll make another low, we'll not take out this low. Everybody's going to get really bearish on this second low, right? This is where a lot of people are going to be bearish. A lot of people are going to be waiting for that low to be taken out for the swing failure pattern. Everybody gets front run. The swing failure pattern doesn't happen. The late shorts get wrecked, and we get that large rise to the upside before the crash. Ladies and gentlemen, that is then exactly what happens. Low was never taken out, rise to the upside, the long that I talked about worked, and, well, that brings us up to where we are now, okay? Really brings us up to where we are now. So you can see the current high here put in around the top of that channel. So this was obviously the channel that we were looking at, one of the main reasons why I'm longing down here. Okay, we've now had a direct move to the top of that channel. Okay, with the rejection and slight pullback. So if there's any questions, of course, please feel free to help me. If please feel free to ask me and let me help you. Okay, if you are a contender, if you are a champion, give me your love right now. Hit that like button. If you manage to make some profits with on me on that trade, hit that like button. Give a comment saying thank you so much, because all I'm going to be asking for is as simple as that. A little bit of interaction, a little bit of support, a little bit of thanks. Because I think that was a pretty legendary call. If I say so myself, it was a pretty legendary call. And yeah, I'd love to see some of the people that got in on that trade with me. So yeah, let me know in the comments and the live chat if you managed to secure that bag, because that was a pretty good one. And now, having talked you through that, I will of course be talking about what's happening now and what we are looking for next. So just give a quick read through these comments. Thank you so much. Moon Dream for the coach. Rivalry. Yes, Rivalry is a legend. There he is. Rivalry. Hello, my friend. Igor's here as well. Look at this. You got some pretty legendary people in here. Igor, legend. Rivalry, legend. But you can see a lot of people in here. Take profit. Thank you again. Congrats, CC. Thank you so much, Daniel. You can see for yourself a lot of people. Nice, cool legends. Yeah, this was like, really, this was a pretty epic call. And I think the main reason it was so epic is because nobody would have been thinking like that. You really have to be on top of the game. Dan, make me, okay. Yeah, you really have to be on top of your game and thinking outside of the box for those type of calls. Really, really, really. And I've said it once, I said it again. You know, this takes time, it takes experience, it takes, having the capital to even come up with these ideas, I think. But yeah, it's brilliant to see so many people doing well with me on that one. As I said, I guess I'll respond to my own question of the Bitcoin bottom is in ? This is why. This, by the way, the Bitcoin bottom is in was referring to locally. I just mean like locally, right? So my trading setup was a long. This is not for going to be holding for the next 6 months, 1 year. No, I do overall think that we will make a new low. So I don't think that the bear market is over. But the reason what I'm talking about here, the Bitcoin bottom is in, this is why, is because locally, yes, I did think the Bitcoin bottom was in. I did not think we will make this new low. And I did think we're going to get a pump to the upside. And of course, that is what has happened, right? This prediction was made a few days ago during the live trading stream that we done. So yeah, just one thing that I want to just mention here. I'm not referring to overall, not referring to years from now. I'm referring to really on the local term time frame that the Bitcoin bottom was in. This is why, and it was because of the setup that I gave in my contenders group. That was the reason why we pumped so hard. We had a really big short squeeze, late shorts down here wrecked. A lot of longs that were waiting for the overall low missed their opportunity. They're forced to FOMO into their longs higher. E.g., we had this large rise to the upside so quick because people that are not following us, they were unaware of the long trade. They were unaware of the long setup. They're waiting for the swing failure pattern. They never got it. They're forced to buy in higher. And the other set of people scared down here, shorting down here, well, then they just get simply short squeezed. Okay, so that was the primary reason. CC Pool, send their regards. And now, of course, I'm going to explain what we're looking for next. So currently, yeah, we are simply within this range. Okay, so I'm going to add on a few bits of technical analysis here. I'm going to add on some of these higher term time frame levels that we have here, so we can see really simply where we have like, well, currently we're just in this same range, right? We've still gone low, high, low to the highs, back down to the lows. That was the 3rd of November UK time around 1 p.m. From that low, we're back up to the high, right? So currently we've got this simple channel to be trading. So am I looking for longs up here? The answer is, of course, no. Don't look for longs up here. This is where I look for my shorts. I actually did sculpt a short up here, by the way. I did sculpt a short from up here. But for me, this is our current resistance, right? And that comes in at around 21,000 to 21,300. So we then have our local resistance, but our bigger resistance comes in more towards $22,000. Okay, so this is something that we teach, and I think it's something very important that you understand. Currently, we have a very good trading range from lows to highs, from lows to highs to lows, back up to the high. Okay, so this is our range that we're trading. We look for longs down here, and we look for shorts up here. If we had broken this low, we would have got stopped out of that long, and we would have looked towards our next level. Just like here, I have personally taken the short, but if I get stopped out of this, then I look for my next level to the upside. So it's trade this range until it breaks. When it breaks, we look for the next level, right? Which currently comes in at around 21,700. And I know some people are like, well, actually, no, I'm just gonna say that, and I will be happily taking some questions in this video. By the way, I happily will take some questions to make sure you fully understand. But the correlation right now is very brilliant indeed. We are seeing the ES get a move up here locally, which is of course beneficial for Bitcoin, and the DXY is pulling back, okay, which is also beneficial for Bitcoin. DXY moves down, Bitcoin moves up. ES moves up, Bitcoin moves up. So we're seeing that pretty nice correlation still occurring. But of course, to get our next level to the upside, which is around 21,800, we do need to see, of course, this channel first broken. And if we get through that, we're of course looking up for, levels closer to $23,000, which I personally would be very excited about. But yeah, this overall rally, of course, I'm looking to short this overall rally, but I do not hold big short positions right now. I told you, I managed to accumulate up to a 50 million here. I was in 50 million. But that short's closed. Why? Well, a few factors. I started to take profits down here. Once we formed the swing failure pattern, I took a larger percentage of profits. And as we started to move up here, I fully closed that short. I fully closed it. I'm not in that short anymore. Okay. We actually had the most perfect, by the way, back test of resistance into support, which I did talk about here. Wow, look at this. Market maker model, bam. Market maker model, bam. But this was what was really nice, right? So we had the resistance into support flip here. Yeah, so this was earlier on. That 20,400, 20,450 was really big resistance, which we blasted through. But then we had the perfect back test of resistance, which offered no resistance, but it's still a level. Resistance, support, back test. So that's a crazy, amazing opportunity. If you had missed the longs down here, that resistance into support flip was your best opportunity, of course, for that continued move to the upside. And that's what we call the perfect back test. Okay. And yeah, for me now, it would be a simple case of recognizing, okay, so where is our then local level of support to the downside? Well, we can see here really the middle of that channel, right? 20,600. We don't want to see 20,600 lost. I think that is absolutely certain. We really don't want to see 20,600 lost. Why? Because that would start to invalidate this continued move to the upside. We want to maintain the bullish market structure here. Okay, if we do lose 20,600, then it's going to be a bit more bearish, and then this is much more probable our more overall high here for this move. So for me, yeah, I would say trade this range until it breaks, right? My personal bias and preferred scenario, I suppose, would be a continued move to the upside here. Again, I just want to explain one thing. Yes, I did take a short position here, but relatively small in my regards. And I'm more than happy to take the loss, and I'm thoroughly expecting it. And that is because I would much prefer to see another move to the upside here. But why do I hedge myself at such areas? Well, this is myself. I'm CC Paul. This is what we do. We like to hedge ourselves at resistances. So, yeah, took a hedge short here, but thoroughly expecting to get stopped out. If I don't, then hey, it's fine. But overall, I would prefer to see another move to the upside here. Continue this short squeeze. Get some more late FOMOs in. Bringing us up to my higher levels where, then I'll start to really build another really big short position. But for me, that is the explanations of why we put in this high, why we put in this low, CC Paul, why we got this pump, CC Paul. What is the current reason of this high? Well, I'll give you two factors actually. First of all, we hit the top of that channel. And second of all, I think maybe the easiest factor that we could talk about right now would still be the top of the CC, right? High to low, top of the CC too. So there was a few factors. Top of the channel, also top of the CC rejection. These are not levels that you long into. Okay, but that's another reason that we're currently, pulling back, finding resistance here, by the way. Top of that CC. But for me, that's not a level. I'm not going to long here. You're not going to catch me longing. This is the only place I would short. But if we do clear this level, then of course I'm looking for my further continued levels to the upside. So I really hope that has explained well enough, in enough detail, what I was looking at, how it was all called in advance during the live trading stream. Now I understand why people absolutely love the live trading. You can get involved on some of my action. And, why we've put in every single pivot I've explained, every single pivot I've actually called in advance, and what I'm looking for next in terms of once we break or hold our current levels. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to stay here on stream and answer some of your questions. I'm going to stick around and answer this for you. So fire them at me, ladies and gentlemen. Fire them at me. And let's go. Legendary as usual. Thank you, Daniel. You're absolutely welcome. Let's see some of these questions. So, did I close my... Yes, that position is closed. That is closed. Chart Champions is the only reason I joined Twitter. There you go. Thank you very much. He said no. I don't believe the overall macro bottom is in. No, but the local bottom, yes. But the local bottom you have to acknowledge has played out, right? So this, if it is now a high and we drop, the local bottom was in. I was just trading this range. Let me just read some. I want to answer some proper real questions here. By the way, if you are enjoying this and you've enjoyed the walkthrough, of course you can hit that like button. And if you, of course, you want to see more from us, then you can head over to chartchampions.com, where of course we've got the, you get access to the coaches only channels, giving updates when I'm taking my positions. What you see over here is obviously all posted first. Explaining why I took highs, or why DXY took the high, and why that means I longed Bitcoin. This is the read-only, coaches-only channel. I'm posting in here before anybody else is going to see it in any other social media, taking those long trades, explaining why. So if you want those updates, the live trading, and of course our focus is the education, well then you have access to all the templates, which is on Atos, EXO, cheat sheets, courses, which will start you from beginner to expert level. Each video is 1 hour long. So if you come in here, you're going to have hour-long videos. Every hour-long video, of course, has the timestamps. Okay. And then from the hour-long videos, we've actually got every video condensed into 5 minutes. So then you can watch all of the hour-long video in a 5-minute recap version. So that's the speed runs for if you're low on time and you want to watch the video in 5 minutes. Of course, we really recommend you go through the whole course, which is hour-long videos. But yeah, we've got pretty much everything now. The courses, the speed runs, the live trading, the coaches only read-only channels, and the vault, which includes all the cheat sheets and templates. Okay, we've been in this space the longest. If you look at, do your own research, but you'll see Chart Champions leading the space. We're the longest running educational group within crypto. Most people that you will see alongside us all come from chart champions. We are the leading in the space. Every other group pretty much learnt from ourselves. So if you want to get the original content, if you want to learn from the people that taught the others, then, this is where we are, chartchampions.com. So I hope that you are enjoying that. And if you want to see more from us, then of course you can catch that over on the website. So for me, then, this will be taking now some of the questions of of what you're asking and posting about. So let's go through this then. So of course, yeah, I've closed that current larger short trade. All right, let me try and do some of these questions then. If we broke the channel, how do you know if it is back tested or not? So this is a good question that I'm going to answer. So the question is essentially, I'm going to try and interpretate this question. How are we going to be envisaging the, how could we be looking for the breakout? Really what we're going to be looking at here is, in my opinion, the order flow. So there's going to be a few things that I'm going to be really paying attention to as we come up for this back test now. First of all, I would be looking at the divergences. Currently, we have no bearish divergences, which is obviously a positive sign. But yeah, what we would not want to see here on this back test is bearish divergences forming, which we do not have at the moment. Okay, we don't have that, so that's a positive sign. What we would like to see though is this is an if statement. If we break this high, because there's no guarantee, right? We could back test and fall back down, then we got a high, low, lower, high, lower, low. But what we would be looking for if we break this high would be, we would want to see an increase in volume. We'd want to see high volume coming into this high. We would want to see some nice open interest increase with some positive delta, right? And then you really do not want to see this. That would be your perfect scenario, okay? That move up, breaking out here, and that continue move up. The invalidation would be this, where you actually get the breakout and you get that high increase, open interest, but then you lose back down the low. This would be a bearish scenario where I would short with 100% certainty if we get the fake out back into the range. That's a short. If we get this clean breakout, I look towards my next level. It's as simple as that. This is my short scenario. This would be holding on to the long, looking for my next level to the upside. Okay, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know which scenario of these two is going to happen yet. There's no way we can, with 100%, foresee the future. Of course, we could just come up here for the lower high. But this would be our long scenario, where we look for that next level. This would be the fake out, where I would definitely take a short. Okay, where we can then just look to trade the range. Let's say we do get this bearish scenario. We could still trade this range, back down to the range low, and back up to the high. Then we have our sub-range here, right? You kind of get the idea. So that would be my thought process of what I'll be looking for next, in terms of what you want to see on a clean breakout. So how do we differentiate between a clean breakout and a fake out? Well, you can use your eyes and say, do you swing for a pattern that high and come back into the range? But best of all is using the order flow here. You want to see some nice high positive delta, nice open interest increase above that high. That would be a real clean breakout that one would prefer to see. Okay, so brilliant question, and there's your answer, my friend. Another question here. What is the difference between the two plans for a month? The plan of $100, do you have access to the live sessions? Okay, so really good question. I'll answer that very quickly. Really simply, the biggest difference between contenders and champions is the contenders is not really for live trading, right? The champions is where you get the live trading. Contenders get access to everything on the website. So they'll get access to the speed runs, the video library course, the glossary, the vaults, with everything here. The biggest difference between contenders and champions is champions get access to this. They're getting access to the trading Discord channel, right? Where I'm giving my updates, not only myself, but also the other traders. We're giving our access in here, okay, our insights live in the time. And then, of course, you get the Champions live stream. But the biggest one is live trading on Tuesday. You're getting the updates every day within the Discord. That's the biggest difference. Okay, so real simply, I will simplify that. Contenders is more for education. Champions is more for the live updates. So no, contenders do not really get access to live sessions. This was a one-off that we decided to do because there was extreme volatility. And this was more of a special than a reoccurring. This is normally just for champions, just so you fully understand that. Would you compound your short if the currency see rejection? The way that I would have to do this is some sort of like loss of 2,600 and compound on that rejection. I wouldn't straight away short the loss of 2,600, but I'd have to see some sort of loss of that level and then back test of the level. That's where I then look to compound if I'm wrong and we go higher. Okay, which I of course could be now. The biggest thing was, I'm very confident where the low will be put in. The high, I still would like to see higher, of course. But if I'm wrong and we change market structure, we lose 2,600, then my compound would have to be on the back test at that level. Okay, with again, I'd like to see the bearish divergences on the back test. Can we get a module on market maker tactics and mindset? Yes, I think that's an absolute wonderful module that I can definitely do. That would be for the contenders, but I can do that sort of live stream. Okay, I've got obviously plans coming up. The failed auction video that I've got planned for the contenders. And I can add in, yes, the module on market maker tactics and mindset. I think that would be very beneficial for you. So yeah, of course I can do that. Do I still think Bitcoin will hit 10 to 13K? My answer for this is still yes. Overall, I do think that new lows will be made. Okay. Let me see some other decent questions in here. How likely do I think a bump and run pattern is? Not that likely, if I'm honest. I'm not going for that bump and run pattern. As a contender, would I get access to George's trading channel? No, this is for champions only. Of course, George does live streams every single day. And yeah, this is only for champions. For George, on the contenders, you get him once a week on Monday. You get access to Moondream. Yes, Moondream is also a very good trader. And yeah, the pound is dropping, so really the membership is already on a discount if you're all in crypto. Let me think about some. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, good reminder, everybody. If you're here watching and you're enjoying, hit that like button. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. How do you trade in the weekend? Okay, this is another good question that we see quite often. So how do I trade if it's the weekend? Really simply, the answer is we trade the same way. There's no trade different. I'm not trading differently per se because it's the weekend. My trading is the same. Okay, it's just that, yeah, you have to be aware it's very likely that the volume is not going to be the same. But that doesn't mean the levels don't get respected. Okay, so yes, the volume is lower on the weekend. So that is something to be aware of. And generally that move gets reversed on Monday, Tuesday, right? But nevertheless, let's say on the weekend we get a perfect pullback to our level of support, then I'm going to take that long trade, right? I'm not scared to take a trade just because it's the weekend. If I still get it, if I still get the setup that I'm ready and waiting for, then I'll take it. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean I'm not going to take a trading setup if there's a valid trading setup. And today I have a stop loss, I have a target, I'll take that trade. So yeah, good question. And a lot of people think, should I not trade because it's the weekend? I think, hey, if you want to trade the weekend, you should trade the weekend, right? There shouldn't be any sort of fear about that. Yeah, price action on weekends still is very nice. Okay. At Chart Champions, if when individual altcoin sectors begin to pump, will your team begin to cover that? Yeah, I'm more than happy to do like altcoin analysis, primarily in like my Champions live stream. But yeah, we of course will cover altcoins as and when they think that there's decent setups to be had. Yeah, I actually posted a EGLD. What was that short for? But I did post an EGLD skill sharpener the other day. EGLD, this stands for Algorand or something like this, right? Can't remember what this stands for, but I posted this setup the other day. Anyway, yeah, EG, yeah, I'm happy to cover altcoins if and when. This guy says, thanks, legends. You're more than welcome. Your live insights are a game changer. That's brilliant to hear. Can you share your medium high term time frame idea? E.g. 22k, then 19.5k, or 15k, 27k. Thanks. So overall, my thought process is that we're still going to be breaking down below $17,000. Okay, so my midterm sort of higher term time frame is that we're going to take out this low. Again, I've talked about $10,000, $13,000 a lot. that will be level to level. My biggest idea is that this is not going to be the low, and we will take this out. Okay, that is my idea. Of course, I can be wrong, and I'm happy to admit I'm wrong. But as it stands, we're still in a major downtrend overall. We've not reclaimed any levels. We've not seen any sign of strength. So overall, I still think that this level is going to be taken out and new lows will be made. That is my medium to high term time frame bias. I still hold my shorts from $69,000. I still hold my shorts from $52,000. I still hold my shorts from $48,000. Yeah, those higher term time frame swing trades I remain in. But for the lower term time frame here locally, over the past few days, I'm not in any of these shorts that were taken here. All of these shorts that I was shorting for are closed. I'm not in any of these shorts from these past few days, week of price action. None of those shorts, okay? Even this short that I took up here, I've closed it, okay? So yeah, I'm in my higher term time frame shorts, but locally the only short I'm in is here, which was from around 21,100 and I can show you that position if you want. I can actually show you this position. I'm more than happy to show you this. Just it's only for like it's a really small position, but I'll show you it nevertheless. I don't need to hide this. I do want to hide my account balances though really quickly. Let me just show you this position that I'm in. I'm just gonna hide the account balances. Okay, and we're back. So I'm not sure why, but Bybit seems to lag a little bit for me here. But this will load in a minute, and I'll show you the trade that I'm in. Again, it's a really small position, but yeah, it's a really small position, but nevertheless, hey, it's still a trade that I can show you. So yeah, basically I took this short position. It's for $500,000. And the reason I took this was just to protect some initial capital. Again, this is the Chart Champions trading account. I've been moving around from Tether to Bitcoin. I've moved quite some to Tether. But nevertheless, the reason why I took this short was we come up to the top of the CC. We got a rejection. And we got a pullback. And I thought, hey, I'm going to just protect myself a little bit here. Decided to take that $500,000 short position. And we obviously did in the end get that large drop. And I'm happy to close this out if and when we break that high. Okay, if we don't break that high, then I'll stay in that short. If we break it, I'm out of that short without a second's hesitation. Why? Because yeah, for me, that's the invalidation of that trade. Where would I compound it? Losing that support. Yeah, this does not normally happen on Bybit, but for some reason, I think it's because I'm like live streaming. This connection is like slightly slow. But yeah, that, you know, I'm not scared to show you my positions or anything like that. But yeah, that was okay, cool. That was that short position I'm in. And again, I'm more than expecting to get stopped out of that. And for me, if you know me, this is a really, really, really small trade. Like $500,000 for me is a small trade. So yeah, for me, this is expecting to get stopped out. But just so you understand why I took that short, really simply, it was because we came up to the top of the channel. We come up to the top of the channel into the CC. I'm happy to take that short trade. I'm not even expecting to make profits on it. Like, I'll just take a loss. It's fine. It's not even covering any spot for me. So, yeah. Again, some people, if you're a newer trader, will not understand that. But truly, if you've studied my content, if you understand my thought processes, you will understand that trade. There's no doubt I have in the world you wouldn't understand that. That is a typical trade for myself. Okay? Typical trade. But yeah, that is the one and only short I hold on this account at the moment. Okay, all the rest, obviously my long is currently on the Tether pair. Let's see some of the other questions. Okay, apparently Bybit lags on both. You know what? I do the majority of my trading on Bybit actually from the mobile app. Yeah, the majority for real, like the majority of my trading. I obviously doing all the analysis on the computer, but I actually execute the majority of my trades from the mobile app because yeah, for me, the mobile app I've never, ever, ever, ever had a problem with. So yeah, I also sometimes occasionally get this on the Bybit website. So I the majority of the time just use Bybit on the mobile. For me, it just never have a problem with it. But yeah, maybe it is Brave. I'm not sure. I'm also might be because I'm doing the might be because I'm doing a live stream. How is the? I saw that other question. How is the challenge coming along? Currently, that account is sat on just over $3 million. And that was when I started that account with 25 Bitcoin, and now I think that's on around like 150 odd Bitcoin, something like this. So yeah, that's going well. Daniel, what is your advice for people with small capital? Should they use leverage or no? No. My advice would be no. No financial advice, of course. You have to do what you want and do your own research at the end of the day. But I would never use leverage just because you have a small amount. I am not ever going to tell you use leverage. I would in fact say never use leverage, okay? You don't need to be using leverage. You're most likely going to get wrecked if you start using high leverage. So please, a lot of people are going to be advertising, hey, use some leverage. But why do most people want you to use leverage? Or influencers, why do influencers want you to use leverage? It's probably because they want to take your liquidation fees. Okay, here at Chart Champions, I will always happily admit I am, I am very closely affiliated with Bybit, right? Okay, I'm happy to admit that, very closely affiliated with them. Why? Because I truly believe it is the best exchange. Period. I've never ever had a problem like I had with Binance, like I had with Coinbase. I've never had a problem. So I use them as my personal exchange. Thus, if I can get deals for people that also want to use it, hey, I'm happy to promote them because I truly believe personally they are the best. If they stop being the best, I'll leave them, right? I don't have any contracts with them or anything like this. I'm free to do what I want. So the only people you're going to see really promoting leverage are the people that actually don't make money trading and make money off of liquidating their users, liquidating their followers. And then they'll probably advise you to sign up to 100 different exchanges. Every day there's a new exchange popping up, and you'll randomly see them saying, hey, come and join this exchange, get some free money. And, it's going to be like some exchange you've never heard of. Like the biggest one that I've seen scamming around is Bidget right now. Like, again, this is just my opinion, and I'm not, of course, calling anybody or anything out in particular, but I saw the other day an influencer, hey, come and join Bidget. Get a free $15. And if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw my reply. But it's just like, man, you're never gonna see me myself promoting these like random exchanges that I've never heard of. You're just never ever gonna see that coming from me, because first of all, I don't need anybody's liquidation fees. Second of all, I'm never even promoting leverage to get people liquidated. And third of all, hey, this just is not what you're going to see me doing. So the answer to this is no. Although some people are going to say use leverage, my answer would always be no. I really don't think you should use leverage. I don't think this is beneficial, and ultimately it's probably going to get you wrecked. You're better off starting on demo paper trade accounts for real. Okay, this is what I'm of course using. So you need to stay away from leverage. It's probably only going to get you wrecked until you're at a decent level of trading, and then you can start thinking about it. Scott, my man, my legend. Big shout out to Scott, everybody. This guy's another legend as well within the group. Shout out to Scott. Hope you're doing well. Scott and Rivalry, what legends? Both from over there, over the pond in America. Bidget is a trust exchange. Yeah, agreed. Are NSPOCs relevant if they are older than 1 month? In TPO modules, you said that they are, but wondering if the same rules apply. Yes, I still agree with this. So the NSPOCs is obviously referring to the Eagle sessions. But for me, they are not relevant if they're older than 1 month. So yeah, that for me is still true. And you've obviously studied the modules. Okay. At one point, CC was promoting Bidget. It was one. I was very not happy with that, by the way. That was done without consulting me, and I definitely wasn't happy about this. And yeah, that was a mistake, and that was sorted. Let's just say that. I've never ever promoted Bidget in my life. Scott legend. Yes, Scott is a legend. When will Bitcoin remain higher dominance again? So I'm not a trader that follows market dominance, by the way. I don't trade off of Bitcoin dominance. But obviously right now the altcoins are having a bit of a mini alt season, right? We're seeing a lot of pumps. But if you've been in this space long enough, this is actually a pattern of signifying generally speaking, this is like our fake pump, right? We get big move up on Bitcoin. The altcoins pump even harder. But these are the rallies that I'm really looking to short. Again, I want to express, I have a bearish bias, right? Overall, I'm expecting lower, but I'm not heavily shorting this at the moment. Would like to see higher, right? It's very important that you understand that. I am bearish, so to speak. I'm looking for shorts. But with the way the altcoins are pumping and the way Bitcoin's pumping, I do believe that this is going to be the fake out sort of pump. Again, we could go up to much higher levels. Yeah, we could go up to these much higher levels still. So you have to be careful with that short. And again, I will be happy to say when I'm compounding that. Currently, I don't think this is the high. This is the high. It could be, but I don't think this is the high, right? So I'd like to see a pump up through this channel, and then we can really start to get this move underway. But overall, I am expecting this to top out and make new lows. Okay, new low below 17k currently. And the same with the altcoins. Yeah, the altcoins are pumping very, 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 very well right now. And again, I'm not scared to trade these alts. I am actually long on these alts. I am currently trading a few. The biggest one at the moment is SHIB. I'm currently trading quite heavily. Shiba Inu coin, Atom, still remain trading Atom. But yeah, biggest one that I'm trading at the moment is SHIB, right? And ultimately, though, I'm not going to be holding this on forever because I do think that these pumps are the exit sort of pumps, like the fake pumps, so to speak, and we'll get the reversal. So I'm cautiously bullish locally, but overall higher 10 time frame bearish, right? I'll take 3 more questions and then I'll give a little bit of a different analysis. I've studied and traded chart champions for almost a year. Best thing you can do is learn the technical analysis and trade with low leverage. Okay, this guys, I echo. What do you think about Doge? I'm planning on doing a Shiba Inu stream, and I suppose Shiba Inu and Doge could be linked together fairly close. They kind of follow each other closely. Do you accept crypto payments? Yes, we accept Bitcoin payments if that's of interest of you. Hi Daniel, how do you avoid scam wicks when trading altcoins? I will day trade altcoins, right? And I will just use tight stop. I will use smaller stop losses when I'm day trading or closer invalidations. When I'm swing trading, I'm never getting stopped out with scam wicks. But yeah, on the day trades, you can get scam, so to speak, scam wicks stopped out. Okay, e.g. a big wick that stops you out. It's just part of the game. And if you use a hard stop loss, you just have to accept that this is going to happen at times. There's no real ways that you can avoid it consistently, because at times you just are going to get these random big wicks that stop you out. There's nothing you can do about that. Only take the loss and move on to the next trade. If you do think it was a liquidity scam wick run, you can really simply just enter back in after it's occurred. Use that as your invalidation. Yeah, there's no way you can avoid it consistently long term, because at the end of the day, especially on the low liquidity altcoins, low volumes, it's going to happen more and more. So ways you could avoid it is don't trade random altcoins. Okay, what I do when I'm looking to trade is I'll come over to Bybit. I'll go onto the market page, and I'll look at what's using a lot of volume, right? So you'll see me trading these top altcoins, Matic, Doge. Okay, you'll see me trading the top. If I switch this, you're never in your life going to see me talking about Boba USDT unless it changes its volume. But you're never, ever, ever, ever going to see me talking about this altcoin, because its volume is dead. This is pretty dead altcoin, right? Never heard of it in my life. The volume sucks. You're never going to see me trading that. But this probably has a lot of scam wicks because there's no volume on it. If I come in here and short $500,000, well, that's more than the whole amount of volume today. So, of course, that would create a massive wick if I just come in here and long $500,000. Well, I've longed more than the daily volume, and this is probably a high volume day for that coin. If I come in along $500,000 on this, well, I've times 10 the daily volume. So it's just like, it's going to cause a scam wick. So what you can do is stick to the higher volume coins. That's a really good tip. And that is something that I consistently say to my team at Chart Champions. You don't want to be trading these low volume altcoins, you know. I like to trade out. That's a nice one to trade. I will check the order flow again here. Still no bearish divergences. That's all good. I think we'll do this best coin. This is a good question, I suppose. How often do you make trade indication posts for champions about to sign up? Pretty much every day. Pretty much every day I'm in here posting about trades. Okay, so you can see new lows to be made. That was on the 3rd. I'm posting about a trade update of I expect new lows to be made. That was the 2nd. So I'll just show you the last few days. This is the 2nd, giving updates. And you can see yesterday, which was the 3rd, also giving updates about my trades, explaining where the swing failure pattern's happening. Okay, this is all, you know, this was yesterday, and then obviously today, giving updates of what's going on here, and with the back test, with the SR flip. So I'm giving updates every day in that regard. Yeah. Okay, so this is a good tip here for a post. Use mark price as stop loss, not last price. On Bybit, last price is default, so you can obviously change this. I would recommend to do your own research because I am sometimes using last. It really depends. This has advantages and disadvantages, but yeah, this is something you could potentially do. If you sign up to Chart Champions, you won't be disappointed. It's truly the best thing ever. Thank you for that. How long did it take you to start to be able to read the market so well? As a beginner, what is realistic timescale to achieve that? As we all know, we can't buy time and experience. Really good question, and I will answer this now. So how long did it take me to become very, let's say, good at trading? And this was pushing the, you know, really to be like consistent about 2.5, 3 years. To be what I would call like very, very good was more towards the 5-6 mark, 5 to 6 years mark. And obviously the level where I am now, where I'm able to predict these moves, think like a market maker, having gained the capital that I've gained, thinking like this is when you really start to push, in my opinion. You know, you could easily say 8, 10 plus years. Again, I know that's some daunting for some people. Oh my God, 10 years into the future. I know we might have people sat here and they're 100 years old. Or do I have another 10 years left? You know, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you have realistic expectations, right? It would be very unprofessional and very unrealistic for me to come in here and say, yeah, within 6 months, you're going to be a world-class trader. Of course, it is possible, but it's not the most likely, right? So you got to be thinking to yourself, how long is realistic to be very good? I think really I would say 5 years would be something that would be where you're at a very, very, very advanced level, where you've got the intuition, where you've got the experience. 5 years. Okay. And I know that is daunting for a lot of people, but if you just do a little bit every day, you know, you're working towards an overall bigger goal, right? So you have to set yourself a goal. Of course, you're not going for the mountain within one day, but every day a little bit, even if you do 15 minutes a day, right? 15 minutes a day over 5 years. You just got to always be thinking about where you are now and where you're working towards. And I think if you give yourself like a realistic goal, if you do it quicker than 5 years, you're going to be very, very, very pleased, right? But if you do a realistic goal, 3 to 5 years, I think you're going to be very pleased with the outcome. Okay. The thing that you don't want to do is say, hey, I need to be a full-time trader within 6 months, because the majority of people then are going to fail, because it's very, very, very unlikely that you become a full-time trader within 6 months. It's very unlikely that you become profitable, because you just are not going to have the experience necessary to achieve that. First of all, learning itself is going to take 6 months, right? And then you need to do that theory into practice, and that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Again, I've said this so many times. You can be a very good technical analyst. You can be very, 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 very good at doing technical analysis, but that does not mean you are very good at executing and taking trades. So there's a big difference between an analyst and a trader. Okay, an analyst will come on here, do this chart, and never take the trade. Okay, you're never going to see these positions. And a trader is able to do the analysis and then execute on the trade, right? That's a very, very, very big difference. And I mean, you've seen it. You've seen my videos. You've seen me continuously trading with position sizes, even on live stream of $5+ million. And, you know, you might think now, you know, if I asked myself 10 years ago, would I be trading with like $5 million? And I'd be thinking, no, never. That's never going to happen, right? But then, you know, time goes on, and now suddenly, you know, 5 million doesn't even feel like a lot when you're trading. So it's kind of crazy when you think like that, because I would never in my life have thought that that was possible. But yeah, things happen and life goes well, I suppose. But for me, yeah, realistic would be 3 to 5 years. And you know, if you achieve it quicker than that, then brilliant. You've obviously had a very good mentor. And if you want to see my mentorship, then obviously you can get that over at Chart Champions. But for me, yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Primarily, I'm just going to say I hope that you've thoroughly enjoyed. Okay, I hope that you have thoroughly enjoyed the analysis. I hope that I've given you very much insights of why this high was put in. I want to just remind you one more time, this was a range pointed control untapped. First tap, rejection back down. We put in our local low. I knew that wasn't the low because of the back test of the daily and the amount of longs that opened up into it. I was correct, and we made a new low. Then I moved on to explaining the market maker theory of why I really believed we would not take out that low, why we would make a higher low, and using that market maker theory, get a large rise to the upside. Of course, that is what went on to happen. I've explained why I took that short position on Bitcoin, why I'm happy to get out of this. Okay, I'm more than happy to get out of that trade. I am expecting, and moving on to the overall trading setup there. So that has explained every pivot, the high, the low, the current high, what I'm looking for next. Again, you have to understand this is a base level explanation, because I know I have an audience here from people that don't even understand trading to advanced traders. So I obviously cater more towards giving basic explanations. If you want more advanced concepts, then of course that's where we'll do it over on the members stream for people that are truly dedicated and have a base understanding. But yeah, I hope that you've thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm going to wrap it up. If you want to catch more of us, then you can get that over in the Discord. And if you want to learn, if you are a very beginner, if you are an advanced trader and you want a community, then hey, chartchampions.com. That's what I'll say. I'm going to say thank you ever so much. I truly hope you've enjoyed. Have a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant weekend and a week ahead. CC Paul send their regards. I send my love. And I hope you've enjoyed this review of the trades and what I'm looking for next in terms of my levels. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Have a good day. And it's me signing out. Goodbye. Cheers.